Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Thought I was going to be consistent, but like every other YouTuber out there, I actually was not, and life happened, all that stuff. Got really busy. Making videos was not at the top of my mind, but I did have a lot of video ideas. Like sometimes I'd think about it like I feel like I could make a video about this topic. And I just didn't. But I'm here now. And to be honest, like I think one of the things was I was really not as happy with my setup. Like I feel like I love my setup, all of that stuff, but then I kind of felt like I wanted the video quality to be higher, all of these things, like just the perfectionist things. And I realized I think my videos, one of the thing about it is that like it's great to have great video quality, but mine are more sit down to just talking videos. And if the audio is great, then I don't need to worry about anything else. So I'm coming at you as natural as I can be. Girl is going through her self maintenance and just like, really trying to upgrade myself phase. So I'm trying to do low makeup or no makeup if I can, and wearing my hair out. My hair is relaxed, of course, but it's kind of starting to get on my mind to go natural again. And no nails. I am growing out my own nails, just going to try to get back onto, just that all natural beauty, whatever you call it. And yeah, that's that. So I have it on my mind and I've had it on my heart to talk about this topic for a while. And this actually was inspired by a discussion we were having at church. And a girl asked, it was like a girls' ladies' night. And one of the questions was, how do you battle as a woman, or how do you face the insecurity you feel when you compare yourself to other women? And I want to say, to begin with, I guess the video title is going to be Insecurity by Comparison. I want to say that this is not even a thing only women feel. I feel that in some conversations I've had, even men can feel insecure by comparison. It might not necessarily be a physical thing. Sometimes it could be a physical thing. Sometimes for men, it could be a height thing. It could be sometimes a financial thing, or make just insecure by comparison. And that's what I want to talk about today. One of the things that I have mentioned on this channel and will continue to remind you all again is it is a faith-based channel. Oh, it's been so long I didn't even do my intro. Welcome to my channel. I am the Purposeful Millennial. I make inspiring, uplifting, and insightful content. Yay. Okay, so yes, back to what we were talking about. I actually had a few notes about talking about insecurity by comparison because this one was really important to me. I think we live in a world where people have I was watching the Barbie movie, and it's like, just Ken in the end when he's wearing that I am Kenough sweatshirt is so cute. But I feel like there is a power in walking on this world, not in a place of trying to convince yourself that you are enough, but actually believing that I am different from everybody else and I am enough. So, and I am the same as other people in other aspects, and I am enough. I think sometimes when people have these conversations, it's all about, your differences make you stand out and sometimes you're just the same as other people and you just blend in. Both things are not bad. Both things are good. It's good to be part of and it's good to stand out. Everyone has a mix of qualities that bring them to a place where they just blend in some areas, and qualities that make them stand out. And both things can be positives and negatives. And when it comes to insecurity by comparison, it's not even about, I think a lot of the responses sometimes is, people trying to let some, like, people don't necessarily rebuke that comparison, they rebuke the insecurity and let a person dwell in that comparison. Like they're like, oh, you feel like you are bigger than other people. I just want you to let you know that you have curves or you have this, da, 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 da. But at the end of the day, it's not even about them. It's not even about them. You're a standalone human being and you're perfect. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to insecurity by comparison, I think one of the things that I have for me as a Christian stood on is that when it comes to insecurities, I feel like for women, it's usually body insecurities. And it's usually thinking that relative to what a person looks like, what I have, what I do not have, makes me less appealing, or sometimes makes me get attention in a negative way, all of that stuff. That's, I feel like that's where I think insecurity typically comes from. But when I think about it, one of the things that I feel is as a Christian is that at the end of the day, when I really just sat down with this topic, this is gonna be a very short thing. I feel like as women, especially at the point of like, mature women growing up, all that stuff, a lot of the times, I realized that in my experience, an insecurity is not even really about the thing itself. It's usually about wanting to access something and thinking that I have or do not have something that is going to deny me access to that which I want. So, taking it back to the question that we were discussing in Bible study that night, it could be body insecurities. So, some women might feel that their bodies are not appealing to the type of men they would want to date. And that, in that case, is a place of, it's not that the person is insecure about the body per se. That's not the root cause. The root cause is they want a certain kind of relationship, they want a certain kind of life, and they think that their body is going to deny them access. And I think one of the things that I have come across, and I believe truly in this Bible that I love to read, is that God desires to give us everything that we want. If we ask everything according to his good will and purpose, God will give it to us. And when it comes to insecurity of any kind, I think it's really important to sit down and ask yourself, like, this thing is what is presented to my mind, that I want to have this, I want to have that. I'm sad I don't have this. I wish I had that. But as a person, truly sit down with yourself and think of what is it that I actually want to get by having this thing. And when it comes to Christians and our walk with God, one of the things we need to remember is we can ask God for anything according to his good will and purpose and receive it. So it is not even necessary to really be rebuking each other about the security or the comparison. All of those are not, like, you shouldn't be insecure, to be honest, as a Christian, because God has made you perfect for the purposes of your life. But at the same time, I think the key thing that I realized is we all have our heart's desires. We have things that we truly want to have. And sometimes at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter how you get to have it, but it matters that you get the end goal. So I'm just going to read a passage here, and it is from Matthew 20, verse 34, and it's the fig tree withers. So early in the morning, as he was on his way back to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went to it, but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, "May you never bear fruit again." Immediately the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. "How did the fig tree wither so quickly?" they asked. Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth. If you have faith and do not doubt, Not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask in prayer. So, one of the things about insecurity and comparison is, like I'm saying, I think the root cause is usually that we have a deep desire to have something. And when we have that deep desire to have something, we start looking at things around us and compare with people who have that thing and start to wonder if we can achieve that same goal when we do not have what they had when they got that outcome we desire. And as Christians, I think one of the most important things is to make sure that we have the faith to ask God for what we truly desire. Because at the end of the day, sometimes our lack of something or our abundance of a thing that could be an issue or get in the way of us getting the outcome we desire is just the testimony that will come out of us getting that thing. But we have to have the faith. If a person feels like, I'll go back to the dating and body insecurity because I think that's the example that was really apparent at that time when we had the discussion, is that if a person desires a partner who looks a certain kind of way, and you feel like, according to statistics, maybe a woman wants to be with an NBA player, and they don't look anything like what is typically the NBA wife, and they truly want that. I think at the end of the day, I think what happens is if you were to get that thing, but you didn't look like what people look like to get it, your story is a testimony. And I don't think you will look back and wish you were that other woman if you have achieved this thing you want. So I think as women and just as human beings, insecurity by comparison is really just a lack of awareness of what we truly want. Because once you establish what you truly want, you can blaze your trail and think of how to get to it. The insecurity and the comparison, they're just revealing to you that there's something that you desire and they're not to be dwelled on. If you start attacking the insecurity, attacking the this, I think a lot of the society things we have right now, like positive affirmations, all of these things, sometimes it's like people spending a lot of time attacking surface level issues when they should be digging deeper to get the root cause of what is actually going on. And I know there's a lot of talk about, having a therapist is an amazing way to start understanding how to dig deeper into an issue and spend time with yourself. But I think it's also important to get to that point where, even without therapists or counselors, as a person, being curious about yourself to know exactly what you want. And I think a lot of people sometimes it's um there's sometimes the desire to, you know, go with, okay, fine, I think maybe I just want this because society says I should want this, or because I only saw this kind of thing. I think sometimes the other thing that happens is people might dig deeper and have be self-aware that this is what I desire, but also fail to have that self-acceptance. So I think there are many steps to really guarding against the insecurity that comes by comparison. And the first step is truly be aware. Take this as information that, okay, I feel insecure when I compare myself to this. What does this mean? What do I truly want? What is the desire hidden in all of these insecurities and comparisons? And that is step one. And step two is, once you have established that desire, really think and sit down and think of, now I know I want this thing, but how can I get to it? And how do I just live with accepting that I want this thing and I feel like it's a difficult thing to have? So, first step, self awareness. The second one is accepting it that this is a difficult thing that I want to have, or I perceive it as a difficult thing to have. But I do want it, and it matters to me enough that my body or my mind felt like felt negative in thinking, like, or felt or had a negative reaction to the thought of not having this, or felt threatened by the idea of living without having this desire fulfilled. And I think the last step, of course, is really stepping into faith and giving it to God and walking out that faith. So, the first, like when I say stepping into faith, you've established that you desire something, you have accepted it, that this is a thing that I want to have. And now it's time to step into faith and genuinely sit down as a Christian and ask God for Him to grant these things that you genuinely want. Ask God to grant them in the ways that you know. Believe Him to serve the needs that will fulfill your purpose and His goodwill over your life. And I think the last step is really surrender. Surrender the path, the process, and all other things concerning this outcome being achieved to God. Don't try to start helping God. You've stepped into faith. Stop. Don't help God. Don't help God. Now, faith, of course, without works is dead. But don't help God. And so I think really when it comes to insecurity by comparison in all areas or in different areas, I'll say the step one is really dig deeper into understanding, what do I desire? Step two, once you find out what you desire, no matter how ridiculous it is, accept it. Step three, present your request before God and step into faith that you will receive it. And step four, surrender it to God. Surrender the process to God and believe Him. Believe in Him for the outcome that you desire. Yeah, so that's all for me for today. I feel like I've actually done the most just coming back on here, but it's really nice. I missed my chair. Okay, I do use the chair, but like I have a story about this chair, but anyway, other than that, I do have a life update, which is that I had an amazing Friendsgiving. I stepped into being a host and it was good. People enjoy the food. It was amazing company. I think I learned something about myself in the process, which was, it was like, I had an introspection moment on Sunday. So I was like, what did I learn about myself after doing this thing? And I was like, I have a lot of growing to do as a human. Oh, yes, I. It's crazy how much I learn about myself at each stage of life. Just when I thought I'm like, I got this, I know who Ashley is, and then I cover a new fact about me, and I just have to decide whether I want to keep it or I need to start working on changing some things. But yeah, it was amazing. We are in November now. And I think I just want to make a lot of videos because I feel like I've had a lot of video ideas and I want to carry them into 2024. Purposeful Millennial was a revelation given to me by God 2023. And I really want to walk this out before the year is out. And if you know where that phrase comes from, definitely you're a Tiffany Montgomery fan. So yes, before the year is out, we're going to do some great things on this channel. We're going to be churning out content, truthfully, and there's going to be some exciting updates. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I am gonna end it here for now. Catch you tomorrow with a new video. That is gonna be amazing. Okay. I don't have a name for the people who come to this channel. I'm not gonna try to name you my 10 human beings. But yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. Bye. Hope you have a good week. Catch you tomorrow again.